This summer I lost 30 pounds, which was huge for me. I worked in the corporate world for 4 years and I went on a trip and I saw a picture of myself that was very unflattering. It completely made me have one of those moments where I was like, what the hell's going on? I decided that I needed to get my health in order. I'd been drinking so much, I'd been going out for meals and just eating the wrong foods, and I guess after 4 years, my metabolism wasn't bouncing back. I was no longer in my early 20s, so things were sticking in places that I didn't want them to stick, and I'd just completely become oblivious to it. By the time I decided that I wanted to do something about it, I just felt overwhelmed. I was getting so much information on social media from people who looked incredible, from people who had amazing bodies, from people who were absolutely shredded, telling me how I was going to lose weight. And the thing was, I didn't feel morbidly obese. I didn't have a huge amount of body weight, but I was still pretty big. And so when I'd go in the gym, I felt really uncomfortable. I didn't know how to use the equipment. I felt overwhelmed by information. People saying cardio is bad, you need to lift, you need to do this, you need to do that. So instead of downloading 100 different apps, I used ChatGPT, and this was a huge game changer. I was able to set up a project instruction folder and actually create something that was tailored for me, something that knew exactly how much I weighed, something that knew what my goal weight was, something that knew what I wanted to look like, and even related back to my why when things got tough. So what I've done now is I've gone ahead and written all of this out so that you can use the same exact system if you want. It's got a project instruction that tells the chat how to act, how to be your personal coach, and then it's got 3 individual chats that you use every single day. One of them is for calorie tracking, which makes this so much easier. You just go in, take a picture of your food, and because it knows you and what you're eating, it'll actually just write out your calories and guesstimate so that you can consistently track without feeling like you have to open an app and scan a barcode and then put in the grams and all of that stuff. It's just a picture. It keeps you consistent. The next one is for your fitness. When you go into the gym, you are going to build your own personal fitness plan. And what it's going to do is tell you how to use the equipment so that you're not sat there watching tutorials before you start. And then the last one is for body tracking and recomposition. You can actually share a photo of yourself so that you see in real time the progress that you're making. This has been monumental for me. So what I want to do is share this with you just because it worked so well. And then I'm going to link all of them so that if you do want to use the prompt instructions, you can just copy and paste. It makes it a lot easier. So let's get started. Okay, so the first thing you're going to want to do is open ChatGPT. So it will look something like this. This is a project that I've already set up, but for you, you're going to go into here and select new project. Now you can do this on the free version of ChatGPT. If you've got the premium one, cool, even better. Name your project, pick what you want to make it. I'm guessing health, that'd probably be the best one. Go ahead and get rid of that. And then I've just picked fitness journey. This is just an example. One, obviously the one that I have, I've titled Fit Body 25, and I still use it, so it's a little bit higher up. But this is just to show you guys what it looks like. When you've got your project, this is going to be its own little thing. It's going to be where all the instructions and your chats that you're using daily live. So what you're going to do is go into edit instructions. This is how it becomes tailored to you. It's going to become its own little micro app. So instead of just being normal ChatGPT, it's going to think a little bit differently. What you want to do is copy and paste in this. I've gone ahead and put this in a PDF that you guys can access if you want to support. It's available on Gumroad, or if you've got the book off Kindle, it's on Kindle Unlimited for free. It's all copy and pasteable, but essentially you can also write this out if you want. And it's going to have a role that we've given it so that it knows exactly who you are, what your goals are. You're going to give it your profile, so your name, your age, your height, your weight, your gender, activity, all that fun stuff, and what equipment access you have. You want to give it as much context as possible because that's going to be what tailors it to your life specifically. It's essentially becoming a personal trainer. You can't replace people, so definitely go out and get a personal trainer. But if you're anything like me, I was really intimidated by the gym. So this helped me get to a place where I felt confident. It was like a step before getting to the personal trainer, if that makes sense. Anyways, so you've got your goals, whether that's to lose fat while building muscle. So if you're on a GLP-1 inhibitor, this is great. You want to maximize your nutrition, you're hyper protein focused, you're trying to build your muscle. You don't want to lose that muscle while you're losing fat. Maybe some secondary goals. So you want to feel healthier, you want to be more energetic, better sleep. For me, I think I just put I want to look good naked. It was really, really vapid at the time, but you can tailor it to whatever you want. And then in the book, I've included having a why statement. So for me, I found that I stalled after a couple of months. This is going to happen. You're going to have moments where you stall. So having a why that reminds you why you're going to keep going was really monumental, and it was a game changer. It would even remind me and be like, hey, don't forget you wanted this. So keep on going. And then we've got a different tone. So supportive, direct, non-judgmental. Keep responses brief and scannable. I don't like reading, so I have little bullets. You can change this. You can make it paragraphs if you want to read. If I drift, remind me of my why, ask for missing context only when needed. And then you've got your check-ins and your important notes. So remember, guys, this is not a doctor. Nothing is going to replace your clinician. So please do not use this as if it's going to be aware of all of your personal medical issues. It's not a medical professional, so please consult your doctor if you have serious medical issues. Okay, this is just for your fitness journey. You're using this to tailor it to your personal fitness journey. Okay, save that. And then you've got your 3 chats. So in these 3 chats, you're going to go ahead and set them up. One is a workout plan setup that's tailored specifically to you and your goals. The other is a food locking and guidance chat, something that's nutritionally balanced and it's focused and tailored to your goals again. And then you've got a progress and tracking plan, one for tracking your weight and your body recomposition. So this was really helpful for me. When I went to the gym, I found I was like, some of the machines, I didn't even know if I was using them properly. So what we've done with this one is we've set up some context, we've given it a schedule. It becomes aware of what you are comfortable with. For me, I turned mine into a push-pull leg and core day. This was tailored around my schedule, but because of your context and your experience level, it's going to offer things that are tailored directly for you. So if you're in a position where you've kind of ruined your knee, I had a bad left knee, it'll become aware of that. So tell it, I've got bad knees, I don't want to jump. I don't do any burpees, I'm not doing any jump squats. All of that stuff is off the table for me. Because it's aware of what I'm doing, I've got a great plan that I now have memorized. And that's kind of the goal, is to get to a place where you're so comfortable with your plan that you don't have to consult this all the time. But for the beginning, the first few months, I was using this every day. I'd go in and I would say, it's Tuesday. What are we working on? Give me today's plan. What am I doing? And it would say, you're doing 12 chest presses. You're going to do that 3 times in a row. And then you're going to move on and you're going to do tricep dips. And because I didn't know how to do the tricep dips, it would then tell me, and it's all conversational. So if you don't know how to do something, just type it in the chat, and that's how it will work with you. I found that really helpful. It gave me tutorials as I was doing things, so I wasn't having to remember all the videos that I was watching on Instagram. The next one is life-changing, for me at least. So when it came to food logging, there were a bunch of different apps. I think the most common are like MyFitnessPal, there's calorie tracking ones, and they say it's so easy. You just scan the barcode and then you put how much of the food you've eaten. But I wasn't aware. I don't do well with the, oh, it's this many grams, it's this many ounces, I don't know. So I really struggled with that. What I found easier though was just taking a picture of my food and then clicking dictate and just saying, hey, I've had a bowl of chicken and rice, I've put some honey on it. And then from the picture, it would guesstimate what I've had. Now, some people say this is blasphemy. You want to be as specific as possible, fine. But for me, that wasn't consistent. And so on some days, I was being super specific with what I'd had. I've had this much, and I was tracking everything really well. But on other days, it just wasn't working. So this was the only thing I could do, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, was take a photo, say, hey, I've just had this, take another photo, hey, I've just had this. And if I forgot at the end of the day, I could just say, today I had a bowl of chicken. I didn't take a photo, but I had like a breast and a half. And it would guess. And that kept me on track a lot better. It made me really aware of all the extras I was having. So the sauces, the oils, the drinks, the alcohol. And it helped me stay in line with my calorie goal. So my goal was 1,800 calories. That was what I was working at a deficit. It was pretty basic. And I was doing 10,000 steps while working out. But this kept me on track, and it's so much easier than trying to fill in all of those blanks. So go ahead and set this up. Once you've got that one, you can then go back. The next one is your progress tracking plan. Now, this is for tracking your body with photos and weight. There's going to be moments where you feel like you're stagnating because that's just how body recomposition works, I guess. You have moments where you're like, whoa, I've had really good progress. And then you have days where maybe because you've had too much water, you've had too much salt, you just feel a bit bloated, maybe you skipped a day of walking. You are going to be harder on yourself than AI is going to be. So, what this helps you do is see your progress over time. And it will actually look at the photo and say, like, oh, I can see that you're trimming up on the sides, or I can see that you want to work on this. And because you've said this, we're going to introduce this into your workout. All of these chats are aware of each other. And so by giving it as much information as possible, it's going to become aware of what you need. And this is great. At the end of your journey, you'll also have a place where you've tracked all of your body photos. So I now have one. If I click into here and I click into my fitness journey, Fit Body 25, I've got how to get V-lined, put everything in here. I've got one where I now have all of my body photos just saved in here. And so I just say update, got it, body log, October 16th, and you'll see your photos in here. They'll load for you, but mine are all hidden in. Oof, there you go. That was the first photo that I can see. And it'll come up. So it even gives you tracking, which is amazing. You've got your weight trend from May to August. Things like this are just mind blowing. There's so many things you can do with ChatGPT, but to be able to track in real time and see the difference and see how far it's come is just unreal. So yeah, this is what you're going to use this one for. So when you're in your one fitness journey, there you go. This is where everything's going to live. Just some caveats to ChatGPT. At the time of writing and at the time of using for myself, I found that when I got a few days in, if I was doing the food logging, by the time I got to the end of the week, I would always start a new food logging chat because by the end of the week, it can start getting confused. That's because it's referencing the entire chat. So you just go ahead and create a new one and just say, I'm moving this into the food logging chat. It's already aware of your instructions that you've given it. So because it's aware up here, all you're going to do is bring it in to the next one and say, we're moving this into the food logging chat, and it'll become aware. It starts learning how you use it. And again, it's not like, this is the thing, it's not general artificial intelligence, it's still just a model. So you need to double check that you're being honest with it. You need to be vigilant in what you're putting in and actually say like, oh, I had a handful of M&Ms, but if you ate the whole bag, that's pretty much it. All of the prompts I've made available, you can get them on Gumroad if you just want the prompts and the bonus recipes. It's $2.99, so less than a cup of coffee. Just shows a lot of support, which is great. And then I've also made them available in this book here. I had a lot of fun writing it. So if you've got Kindle Unlimited, it's essentially free. Otherwise, it's $5.99. It's not super long, but it's got all the sections on how to build your why, and where you can copy and paste everything in. But it was a lot of fun to write, so I really appreciate your support. And that's it. Hopefully this helps. It really was life-changing. and still is. The thing that's amazing about this is it's ongoing. That's what makes it a journey. So hopefully this helps you, and I'd be keen to hear feedback. So if you do download it and appreciate what I've done, maybe comment below. That'd be great. And you can also reach out. So I'll leave all that linked. Thanks. Bye.